These are my thoughts and ideas. So, and so it's just really cool to kind of finally get this stuff going, you know? And have some, for better or for worse, tell my story.
Is that how you tell your story for your characters, I guess?
Well, when you're an artist, when you're a comic artist, I don't necessarily mean my personal story. No, I just mean a story I have in my head. You know what I mean? Not the no, not my biography or anything like that. Although that could be a thing too. But
Certainly a part of you, isn't it?
a part of you is definitely in every single piece of artwork you do. A part of you is in it, and definitely a big part of me is in this because it has to do with tons of things I like, and has to do with sci-fi, fantasy, and martial arts, and all the lessons I've learned through martial arts and fantasy and just the enjoyment of all that and reading those things. So it's been pretty neat. Oh yeah, thank you.
Don't want to put it in the way.
Yeah, don't put it in it, please.
How's it going, man?
This is he's been working on some really cool story stuff, comic stuff. Like you've been thumbnailing forever, I think.
That's as far as I ever get.
But it looks really neat though. The stuff he's been knocking out. So can't wait to see it when it's in the form he wants to show it off at.
A coffee shop like this is great for many purposes. For me, it's an excuse to get out of the dark corner office. But it's also a wonderful place to meet artists like Marshall Lakes.
It's not like a writer or, somebody's either a writer, a musician, or an artist, a visual artist, That's cool about what the coffee shop culture is, We're always hanging out in it. And we can't spend all our time in studios,
He is at Urban Grinders on Wednesday for Free Draw, which is an event that takes place here every week from 4 to 7. It's pretty early still. So while we wait for everyone else to get here, we'll just get to know Marshall a bit, as he paints some fan art on one of his favorite movies from last year, Mad Max Fury Road.
Added characters that don't really exist, but that I've made up, and that would kind of exist, and they're based on people I know. So I just decided to add them in, as kind of, as Furiosas, like later on. Let's say if Mad Max went further, Furiosas like, War Wagon crew, or I don't have a title for them. But so I just added some extra kick-ass female friends that I know, and just kind of, can I say that here? Probably not, but just add that into there. I thought that was pretty cool. Cool deal.
Is this one of your favorite films?
Of last year, it was.
Of last year?
Yeah, easily in my top 5 films of last year. That one was. may have been top 3 actually, probably top 3 films of last year that I had seen, because it was pretty amazing, you know.
His fascination with drawing fan art started from watching a friend draw.
What I want to say, you want to see if you can draw it. You know, actually, I didn't even know you could draw the stuff until I saw another friend of mine drawing it. And then I would see a couple of friends like drawing. I was like, oh, you can do that. You're able to do that. So that's a thing regular people can do, you know. And so let me try and draw something, and that was kind of cool, you know.
Marshall loves to draw and enjoys making someone's day a little bit better by just viewing his art.
That's hopefully that they feel good. They feel inspired. They feel, you know, kind of when I'm doing it, I'm always I kind of take myself away to another place, and like, you know, like, you know, fantasy and adventure, and I just hope when they see it that they're having as much fun as I do when I do it. You know, in my head, I hope they're having that much fun. You know, so that's I love it when I go to cons and people see a piece they like, kind of like when you did, and you just smile and say, "Wow, that's cool, that's awesome." You know, that's I mean, you look through. I've done, you know, probably have 50, 60 pieces in there, maybe 100, and you saw that one that really made you just wow, made you say that. You know, how cool is that? You know, how cool that you provided that for somebody. You know, you just, no matter what they were doing that day, you know, if they had a bad day, but they flipped through the book and they saw a piece of art that made them like smile and say wow, and that's real. That's what art does. It inspires. It creates a mood, you know. So it's kind of cool, man. So that's me.
I compliment him on his use of light and shadow, accenting his characters. From that, I got some art education.
I was one of my art mentors kind of sat down with me a while ago and told me basically how the eye sees, you know, and mostly the eye really sees, like most, it was like 80% of what the eye sees is light and shadow, you know what I mean? And then there's another 20% of it that sees like contour, you know, and so when you're painting, you should worry a whole lot less about contour and worry about, you know, not worry, but concentrate on, you know, doing active, you know, light and shadow, you know, and because that's what people see, you know, and that's what you should, that's what you start trying to bring out, you know, is that. And that was eye-opening, you know. Of course, you can read an art book, and a lot of those will tell you the same thing. I mean, it's not new information. It's not secret information, you know. But it really sunk in when he like sat down and told it to me, you know.
Displaying any kind of work out in the public eye can be a barrier to overcome. Sometimes it takes the right influence to make it happen.
Yeah, back when, you know, a few years back, I was really scared to actually paint in public. You know, you're like, you know, you just can you focus? Can you be, you know, could you like, what if it looks bad, or people don't like it? But to be honest, you know, some people aren't going to like it regardless of what you do, you know, and some people are, and it's always worth it to meet the few people who actually dig it, you know what I mean? That's super cool, you know? And it's always cool to hang out with people like Marcus and draw and stuff, because,
What was really incredible about hanging around this table was the characterization that was brought out in the cartoons. Whether it was fan art of a comic or a movie, or it was their own creation, just listen to the detail and excitement. This is not only a character, but a background, a story.
Physical, you know. So she's, and personality-wise, she's a little bit of a little hippie chick, a little bit of, you know, likes to be barefoot a lot, likes to, you know, do all that. So basically, I'm turning that person. They send her to kind of work on her body, work on the physical. Like it's like it's time to you're gonna be either train with.
This is not just a hangout or doodling. This is creation and imagination happening. Some of these folks maybe have a life outside of this, but here, where the ink meets the slate, they can dip into another world. And at a certain point, we go from the art into the conversation, which can range from comics, movies, to world affairs. The conversations can get very
Wonder
lively.
why girls wear headphones so much.
So
That's
much.
it. Really? You can't walk down the street. No, you can't.
Like this one. The topic of conversation was a recent film that came out called Batman vs. Superman. Mainly broken down by Rachel, who sounded like a film critic.
Around their motivations and their, especially when you start talking about the relationships with each other.
Yeah.
That you have Superman, who's, you know, his whole thing is I'm a superior being,
Yeah.
which in his case is literally true. But you know, you see this played out metaphorically in the, like, you know, I'm an expert, I know better, my opinion matters more than anyone else's in the room.
Yeah.
But I'm here to help.
Right.
But because you don't understand the people who are around you really and truly, you can't connect with them, or you don't connect with them,
Yeah.
your help frequently goes badly.
And this perhaps is the essence of Free Draw. Art, conversation, and coffee.
Yeah, you likened it to you have these people who believe themselves to be superior beings that say,
Right.
hey, I have a solution. Let me
Yeah.
fix all your problems. I know how to do this. And, you know, but I guess we collectively kind of dig that a little bit because
Yeah.
that plays into kind of the bit of the hero mythology. We like seeing exceptional people. We like putting people up on those pedestals. And so,
Right.
You know, athletes are the modern day superheroes. If you
Yeah.
look at it like that. You know, people, they're looked at as that because they can do a story and everything.
And then we find out that a lot of our athletes are enhanced by drugs, and so it's like it totally shatters that
Yeah.
kind of thing. And
Well, and I mean, what are the other mythologies that we have? You know, I mean, our tech innovators. You know, Steve Jobs.
yeah, Bill
You know,
Gates, yeah.
Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs,
Google
the
guys.
But they were both like, they all kind of stole from each other too. You know what I mean? Everybody stole something.
Yeah.
So that kind of like oh wow.
Well, and then you have, I mean, our other, I guess, modern mythologized figures. You know, you have your Donald Trumps, your Kardashians, your American Idol.
And you have to ask yourself, like,
You actually mentioned the Kardashians.
why do we
Did, I
idolize
will.
these people? What is it exactly that they've done that's so noteworthy?
They're living lives that most
Yeah.
people don't live.
But what did they actually do to earn that?
And who
Nothing.
found them? And like, how did this become this?
We did.
We did.
We're fascinated by that. We watching it. And, you know, I mean, it wouldn't be a Kardashian TV show if nobody watched.
Yeah.
And if at any point anything goes sour, you turn the page and draw anew.